Thomas Berry.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Mad Team's 2012 Black Tie. I guess you're already welcome to 2 o'clock, right? Folks, before I get started, I have to give it back to my head coach, Mr. Art Lee. I've learned so much from Mr. Art Lee over the past 20 months, and he's really reshaped my business career. One of the things, the first day I joined his team, one of the things he told me, you know, he's a cop, so he grabbed me up. You know, I'm 6'4", I ain't been grabbed up in a minute, so he grabbed me up, and he says, I need you to do me one favor. And he says, after the day, I need you to be the best that you can be. I don't care what else, whatever's going on, I don't care about the past. From this day forward, you on the Mad Team, and I just need you to do me one favor and just be the best you can be. Then he smacked me on my chest, coughed, went back and sat down. So I know for a fact, I've learned so much from Mr. Lee. I know I probably wouldn't be here on some of the things that we've done if it wasn't for his coaching and mentorship. And I know for a fact that the best is yet to come. So I really appreciate you, Mr. President, Mr. Art Lee. Like you said, my name is Thomas Berry. My name is Thomas Berry. I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland. And folks, I can definitely tell you I'm excited to be a part of the Mad Team. Because as you're going to find out, if you're not a part of a team, and no matter what you do, you probably won't get there. No matter where you're going, you got to be a part of a team because wouldn't you agree, you can do a lot of things, much faster and more efficient when it's a collective group. Right. Does that make sense? Yeah. When you leverage 1 over 1, it's going to take a long time to get there. Okay. Can everybody see us? Yes. All right, my title, we're going to talk about for the next few minutes is something called creating momentum. And what this is, like Mr. Lee said a few minutes ago, folks, it doesn't matter what yesterday was. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. It don't matter if you just got started. It doesn't matter how many people quit. It don't matter how many people are here. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you're here to turn a brand new page and say, hey, we're going to create some momentum from today. Yeah. Is that okay? That's okay? Because I'm telling you, everybody that's in here within the next 30 days can have a completely new business. That's right. Because we've seen it, okay? What I'm going to give you is about 10 key steps to get you your next promotion. It doesn't matter if you're going from core to quarter elite, from quarter elite to jade, from jade to jade elite, from jade elite to pearl, from pearl to pearl elite, or from pearl elite to diamond. It doesn't matter. Because I've used the same information I'm going to share with you, and I'm still using it today, and we're about 45 to 50 days away from diamond. And that's not exciting, I can tell you that. All right? So y'all with me? Yeah. The first thing we got to do, folks, let me go back. Without momentum, I'm going to tell you, folks, without momentum, it's going to take you a long time. But once momentum arrives, all you got to do is just watch out and ride the wave, okay? But once momentum arrives, you got to commit to being the best you that you can be. Because if you're not the best you, the momentum will come and go. Does that make sense? All right, the first thing in momentum, first thing, folks, you must be 100% on the same page as your upline support team. It doesn't matter, just like Mr. Lee said, it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree. It's the fact that we agree on the bigger goal of the team. Does that make sense? You're not going to always agree, but you have to understand you're part of a team, and you got to understand your leadership on the team, and we all have the best interests of the team. There's no I in team. Y'all heard that, right? Yeah. Folks, you have to be on the same page with your support team. It doesn't matter how well you know them. It doesn't matter how long you've been in. From this day forward, if they bang it right, you bang it right. Does that make sense? You have to be, because so much stuff, so much information, so much time, so much stuff is lost when you think you want to do something a little different. When you think, hey, I think I got it. When you think, hey, they might not know what they're talking about. Hey, they might not know this area. Folks, 100% be in tune with your upline. Does that make sense? Yes. Right. The next one, you must take control of your business. Folks, if you don't get this one, it's going to be a long day. All right? The reason why is because if it's going to be, it's up to who?
Me.
If it's going to be, it's up to who?
Me.
All right, so repeat after me. I will
take complete control
of my business from today forward. Give yourself a hand. And this sounds so simple, but I learned this from my sponsor mentor, Triple Diamond Brandon Missouri, and he said, Thomas, as long as you don't have control of something, it's going to take you wherever you want to go.
That's right.
But once you control it, you drive. Does that make sense? Folks, control your business. What that means, folks, if you want to go from 2,000 to 5,000, it's up to who?
You.
So I'm telling you, folks, what you have to know, you can't wing it. You can't wake up and just say, let me hit the back office and see what happens. No. Each point to hit your back office is because you made it hit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Folks, you must take complete control of your business from today. And I promise you, once you take control, watch what happens. Just watch what happens. Because the main thing that's going to happen is your 5, 10, or 15 key people that you personally sponsor, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to do what you do, not what you tell them.
That's right.
Does that make sense? Yes. When they take control, now you got you something, okay? The third thing, you must sign up one key IPC. You know what that is?
Me.
You. Because once you sponsor yourself, go look for some zeros, okay? Because once I got me, then they'll add a zero, how many I got? 10. Then add another zero, how many I got?
100.
Then add another zero, how many I got?
1,000.
But all you did was sponsor one. So you got to understand that. Because so many people say, hey, I'm in this thing, Mr. Missouri, I'm in it. But then the next meeting come up and they ain't even in it. How many people, I'm sure, Mr. Missouri, how many people say, hey, Mr. Missouri, I want to be your next diamond. What do I got to do? All right, meet me here. Oh, I got to meet you there on that day? Anybody relate to that?
Yeah.
So, folks, you have to sponsor you. What do you have to sponsor you? You have to be completely involved. You have to be completely committed to the operation at hand. If you're not committed, 1% doubt, you what?
Out.
Out. All right? Sponsor you. This weekend, sponsor you. All right? Number 4. This is key, folks. In creating momentum, you must identify your players in the game with you. What that means, don't get caught up looking at your downline report and think these are the players in my game. That is not the case. The people on your report, when they sign up, only thing that lets them know they're IPC of Tahitian Known International and they get products at wholesale.
I know that's right.
What else does that mean when a person get an IPC number?
That's what it means.
Right? But when you're a player, you follow me? When you're a player, you're at every event. When does players arrive? About 15 minutes early. Does that make sense? Think about it. If Michael Jordan got a game at 4 o'clock, when is he getting there?
12.
Early in the morning. You don't show up when the tip-off comes, but you got to identify, folks. You got to identify who your players are. What that means, I really believe your key players are the people that's here with you today.
I know that's right.
Okay? The ones that are here. Because one thing I can guarantee you, the players that are here with you today, they're much easier to create a game plan on Sunday morning than somebody that wasn't here.
That's right.
Think about that. But the problem I see people having is they'll leave this event and call people that wasn't even here and say, hey, Mr. Missouri said you need to have a tea party. Hey, but then we wonder why it's a no-show. They wasn't here. There's no urgency. But when you have team members that's here, they're in the game because they paid a price from time, from finances, whatever it is to make an inconvenience, and they're here. So these are the people that are here, are in the game with you, so they're the ones that you're going to create these game plans and so forth that we're going to talk about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But you have to identify it. You got to identify. And then if they're in another area, another state, you got to make a phone call. And you got to say something along the lines of, hey, Mr. Missouri, I know I haven't spoken to you in a while. I know maybe some things have been going on. But hey, I need to know real quick, are you still with the MAD team? I'm not talking about on paper. I'm not talking about auto ship. I just want to know where you are. Whatever your answer is, it's okay. I just want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from nobody else. I want to hear from you. Are you still in the game with me? I can handle it yes and I can handle it no, but maybe you just won't do it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Find out who your players are. But you can't find out like you're a boss. Hey, I need to know. Ms. Barfield told me I need to call you and I need to find out. No, because you still have to be compelling. You still need to draw people to you because you still need to get production from people. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it's all about how you come across. I mean, we always talk about it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
That's right. That's right.
Key point, identify your players. You can't do anything if you don't know who on your team.
That's right.
All right? Number 5, you must have daily, weekly, monthly volume goals for everyone and every team in the game. What that means, If you have a Jade, that's what I mean by a team. If you have a Jade Elite, that's a team. But you have to have, folks, you have to have daily, weekly, monthly volume goals. What that means, let's say you have 10 people 10 people in the game with you, right? Let's say, for an example, you want to get to 400 to 800 points, all right? And you got 5 people in the game, okay? All this, every information I'm telling you, you have to have it. Your play has to be written down on paper. Because if it's not written down, it's just a wish. And you just hope. Okay, you can't hope your way into $1 million. All right? But say you got 5 people in the game. And you communicate with them, and they let you know in the game. So as a group, we talk to each individual and create goals. You follow me? If we know we want to create 2,000 points within 10 days. Okay? Don't just set goals that your upline or your mentors want to hear you set. Don't say, Mr. Missouri, I know I got 2,000 points, but I'm going to be a Jade Elite by the end of the month. You know, again, if it happens, that's awesome, but hey, let's crawl a little bit. Let's set ourselves up for some small victories. You follow me? If I got 2,000 points, let's say over the next 10 days, I want to have 4,000 points. Does that make sense? So then we find out the players in the game, and then we find out what type of volume can I get from each player. But it's not for the month, that's today. Because you got to wait, when you wake up and you sponsor you, it's all about today. It ain't about tomorrow, we worry about tomorrow. But right now, today, what are we going to hit the report? What's going to hit that back off? Does that make sense? And you got to have, folks, you got to have 30 one-day goals, followed by 4 one-week goals. Does that make sense? And 1 30-day goal. But it starts with knowing who's in the game. Because if I got a group of 5, and collectively I want to get to 3,000 points at the end of the month, or 4, whatever that number is, you got to break it down on each person. Okay, I can get 500 from Mr. Missouri because he got some stuff going on. We got some follow-ups. And I'm gonna commit to make sure we get 500 points, whether it's customers or whether it's IPCs. Does that make sense? So if I have goals for each person, keep in mind, when I say I have goals, what that means, that's the goal that we agreed upon. Because Brandon don't think it's his goal if I give it to him. As a leader, you have to understand that. If I give him a goal, that's my goal. Will he work harder on my goal or work harder on his goal? So have that correct conversation and say, Mr. Missouri, let's set this goal for 500 points today, or 200 points today, or 60 points today. Does that make sense? Because folks, if that back office don't move every day, I really feel you need to buy something. That's what I feel. If that number don't move, that's right. And I talk to some people on the team, and I say, hey, when's the last time you checked your back office? Oh, a couple days ago. When's the last time before that? A couple days ago. Man, I check the back office like every 30 minutes. Because you're having conversations with people. You follow me? If you're checking it every few days, you're not in the game. You haven't been sponsored yet, which is okay. It's just you got to recognize you haven't been sponsored yet. But when you've been sponsored, you look at that back office every few minutes, and that number should move. And again, folks, if that number don't move, by the time you get ready to go to bed, you need to call order entry. That's just a tip. Because at some point, you're going to get tired of ordering stuff, and then you're going to have that in conversation with the proper people. Does that make sense? All right? Number 6, you must have daily, this is key, you must have daily encouraging high energy calls or texts with your players about the goal that day. What I mean by that, every day communicate with your winners. Don't just go by and say, hey, I told them. Yeah, they know what they need to do, Mr. Missouri. I told them. If anybody can tell them, they can watch a DVD and the DVD will tell them. So what I'm sharing with, they don't need somebody to tell them. They need somebody to help them. They need somebody to encourage them. They need somebody to give them some uplifting, positive conversation. Because, folks, I promise you, nobody likes to be called by a boss. Nobody. But I would take a phone call from a partner all day of the week, every day of the week. Because if we're partners and I call you and use words like let's go do, let's do it together as opposed to you do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you're having problems, hey man, let me help. Let me help. Because I get upset when somebody's having a problem and I don't know about it. Because I want to get in the game with you. Because if you're having a problem, if you're having a hard time with something more than a few minutes, man, call somebody. Because we're all human. We all get stumbled, and every day ain't Christmas. But if every day you have an encouraging, high energy call with somebody, and it's uplifting, because as a leader, all you want somebody to feel better after they spoke to you
That's true.
about their day, about their life, about their problems. Does that make sense? But you can't